What are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest. Your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody
the
knows.
Smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Wait, remember when people thought the whole Epstein situation would only expose big names like Diddy and Jay-Z for their shady behavior? Well, the story might go way deeper than that. New reports are popping up saying that several young, rising actors and actresses in Hollywood were allegedly pushed around behind the scenes, or even taken to Epstein Island, all in exchange for career opportunities. One name that has started circulating in these discussions is Bryshere Gray.
Very appreciative of the response people are giving, and people saying they love the show, they love the music, and they're feeling very inspired from the characters.
Meet Bryshere Gray, 21-year-old actor and rapper, and is one of the fresh faces on Fox's hit show Empire.
When I was 16 years old, me and my mom would pack up a small Camry car, and we would drive to Michigan, and we'll drive to Wisconsin and stuff like that, and I'll go perform for high schools for free.
What makes the situation even more unsettling is the timing. Some people point out that Bryshere's behavior seemed to shift dramatically while Empire was being filmed. According to rumors floating around the industry, Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson supposedly tried to step in and help Bryshere when things started going downhill, but by then the situation was already getting out of control. Stories like this keep resurfacing because several entertainers have warned about the pressure behind the scenes. Comedians like Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle have openly talked about the price that powerful gatekeepers in entertainment sometimes demand from artists trying to make it big. Dave Chappelle once explained that he actually left the country after being offered a massive $50 million deal. He said he had watched what happened to other performers who accepted certain deals, and he felt like he was next in line if he stayed.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick. Newsweek, it's a very credible magazine. And they're saying, maybe I smoke crack, and it was all innuendo. And the magazine is credible as Newsweek. I was very surprised that this was happening. And the higher up I go, for some reason,
people say that. He lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened. Not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about.
And now Bryshere's name keeps coming up again and again because there are still a lot of unanswered questions in his story. Some people believe the industry played a role, while others claim it wasn't Hollywood at all. There are reports suggesting Bryshere may have already been struggling with serious personal and mental health challenges before he ever landed the role of Hakeem on Empire. Some people say Bryshere was barely holding things together behind the scenes. He reportedly believed the huge success of Empire would open a lot more doors for him in Hollywood. But when the Jussie Smollett scandal exploded and the show suddenly came to an end, everything around him started falling apart. According to some accounts, Bryshere struggled hard with that sudden shift, and things quickly spiraled out of control. But here's the part many people say often gets left out of the conversation. His breakdown allegedly happened right around the same time his mentorship connections with Will Smith and later Diddy came to an end. That timing has raised a lot of eyebrows among people watching the situation closely. Jaguar Wright has been especially outspoken about this whole situation. She claimed that during Bryshere's time around Will Smith's circle, the people closest to him, including his own mother, were slowly pushed out of the picture. According to her, this made it easier for others to later label Bryshere as crazy or difficult once he was no longer useful to them. And Jaguar wasn't the only one raising concerns. When news came out that Bryshere had started working with actor and choreographer Henson, more voices started speaking up. Henson, who many remember from the Soul Food series on Showtime, said he had warned Bryshere to stay sharp and move carefully in the entertainment world. He reportedly said, "When he was younger and innocent, I warned him about the industry to be careful while he was on Empire, but nobody protected him." That message was clear and serious. Darren added another hard truth about Hollywood. "Now look, people will talk about you on your way up and on your way down. Always protect your own neck. No one else will." That warning hit even harder when people started connecting it to other stories in the industry. Cat Williams has backed up similar concerns as well. He once shared that Harvey Weinstein allegedly tried to pressure him into a situation early in his career. The difference, according to Cat, was simple. He said no and got out of there fast.
Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo! Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there.
I told him no. What y'all do?
Now, the reason Taraji is reportedly suggesting that powerful gatekeepers in Hollywood might have played a role in Bryshere's downward spiral comes from how tightly he was surrounded by certain influential people in the industry. According to claims being discussed online, much of the responsibility is being pointed toward Will and Jada Smith. The situation reportedly began when Bryshere's manager, Charlie Mack, introduced him to both Will Smith and Diddy as part of what was described as a mentorship opportunity. Charlie Mack wasn't just some random manager either. Back in the day, he actually worked security for Will Smith, and their relationship became extremely close over the years. Their bond went beyond business, and Will even made a song called Charlie Mack First Out the Limo, which showed just how tight they really were. So when Charlie helped connect Bryshere with Will and Diddy, the story being told at the time was simple. Bryshere was about to rise straight to the top with some of the most powerful names in entertainment guiding him. On the surface, it looked like a dream setup for a young star trying to secure his place in the industry. But according to critics of the situation, the mentorship may not have been as straightforward as people believed. Some commentators claim that the arrangement brought Bryshere into circles where the pressure and expectations were far heavier than what most young performers are prepared to handle. Because of everything that has come out over the years about certain figures in entertainment, some people now say Bryshere's struggles might not be as shocking as they first seemed. Diddy, for example, has long been seen as a major power player in the industry. But there have also been years of rumors and controversial discussions about how influence and control sometimes operate behind the scenes. Media personality Wendy Williams even spoke about similar rumors for years during her time on radio. She frequently discussed powerful figures in entertainment and the culture surrounding them. Some listeners believe those conversations eventually led to tension with major industry players, especially when topics got a little too close to sensitive territory.
Did you get fired for making fun of Puffy?
Yeah, by Hot 97. I had to fight a lawsuit. You know what it all came down to? It
came down to gay rappers. That's what it was
gay
all
rappers
about.
and exposing. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy, and she was on the radio talking all this way back in the day. I've been telling you things for years, but you don't want to hear. So, all right, fine. And I don't understand parents who unleash their kids. Oh, it's just a deeply moving story to me, because I know.
According to some controversial claims circulating online, when Bryshere was introduced into certain high-level circles around Diddy, there were already rumors and serious whispers surrounding people in that environment. Some commentators now argue that powerful connections in the industry had the ability to keep uncomfortable stories out of the headlines.
And so you've seen the orgies. You've seen the people that was the stars and the shit that they was doing. And the smells and the looks in their eyes.
People who discuss these situations often say that influence in entertainment can shape what the public hears and what never makes it into the news cycle. Critics claim that the same type of influence that protects powerful figures can also affect the people around rising artists, including family members.
But I uncovered some research that he linked up with Will Smith's manager back in the day from Philly.
Yes.
And that really started his progress. But how do you know as a mother if your child is linking up with the right people or when you should keep them close or let them go?
Well, we're close. We're a close-knit family. I brought his manager on to help get him to where he is, but I managed him first, and artists developed him, and then we got a call through his manager asking if they had anyone that would want to audition for the role. Once he auditioned, he took off from there.
That was it.
Jaguar Wright has spoken publicly about Bryshere's mother, Andrea, and claims that there was a moment when she was deeply worried about her son's well-being. According to Jaguar, Andrea once reached out to her for advice because she felt uneasy about the people Bryshere had started working with. Jaguar says she warned Andrea to keep Bryshere away from certain industry figures, including Charlie Mack and Will Smith. But according to Jaguar's version of events, Andrea later stepped back and the situation continued for years while Bryshere remained surrounded by those same powerful connections.
Saw what Charlie Mack and them were doing. He knew they were taking those young boys to Diddy. They all knew.
And the controversy didn't stop there. Will Smith's former friend, Brother Bilal, later made shocking public claims during interviews about the relationships and dynamics inside that social circle. Those statements sparked a huge wave of debate online, especially when he talked about Charlie Mack's close connection with Will and mentioned other well-known figures like Dwayne Martin. Whether people believe those claims or not, the conversation quickly grew into a much bigger discussion about how young entertainers can sometimes get pulled into complicated industry environments.
Somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada would watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm going to let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm going to sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do, period. And I got to have evidence. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on the tape.
Oh.
I'm under penalty of perjury. If anything in here is a lie, my ass going to jail, period. There's no if, there's no end.
Through all of this, Taraji P. Henson's relationship with Bryshere often gets mentioned in a very different light. While they worked together on Empire, the two reportedly formed a close bond. Bryshere was still young and eager to grow as an actor, and Taraji often tried to guide him on set. She would give him acting advice, check in on him, and sometimes even bring him food during long filming days. Small gestures meant to show that someone in his corner genuinely cared about his well-being.
Makes mac and cheese, 3-cheese mac and cheese, and brings it to set. Is that true?
Sometimes she do bring food.
So she brings food to
but
the
me
set?
personally, for me, her meatloaf is the best.
She brings meatloaf to set?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
what
the best.
else? Wait, so she's like the real mom on set?
She's like a real mother, you know? It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So,
learn from Taraji and Terrence, and they're the best in the game. So,
yeah.
You know, it's improving my acting skills as well.
During the time Taraji was filming Empire, she was also juggling a lot of other acting projects. So it took a little while before she fully noticed that Bryshere had started to spiral. At first, it didn't just look like normal pressure from being a young star in Hollywood. It seemed like something deeper was going on behind the scenes. According to reports, Taraji was still one of the first people who tried to reach out when things started getting serious. Some sources even claim she contacted Bryshere's mother, Andrea, hoping the family could step in and help him get back on track. But the situation around Bryshere was already becoming complicated, and the people closest to him were seeing things very differently. There are claims that Bryshere's struggles were later framed publicly as mental health issues instead of digging deeper into what might have been happening around him. Critics online argue that the narrative about Bryshere quickly became fixed, while the bigger picture behind his situation was never fully explained. What Taraji reportedly came to understand later was that Bryshere may have been surrounded by contracts, mentorship deals, and powerful connections that limited how much freedom he really had to speak up or protect himself. With so many voices shaping the story around him, it became difficult for anyone on the outside, even someone who cared, to change how things were unfolding.
I felt like the industry was pitting us against each other. Like only one could win at a time. And I always believed that the core of my being is that there's always room for us all. There's room for us to coexist on this earth. So why isn't there enough stories? We have enough stories to tell.
Now that many people online are revisiting old industry stories and controversies, some viewers say they're starting to look at Bryshere's situation from a different angle. Conversations about power, influence, and how young entertainers are treated in the industry are louder than ever right now. Some supporters even point to Jaguar Wright, who has spent years speaking out about what she believes happens behind closed doors in entertainment. Her comments have sparked heated debates across the internet, with people arguing over whether these warnings were ignored for too long. But now it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think really happened in Bryshere's situation? Do you think the pressure of fame caused the spiral? Or do you believe there were bigger forces at play behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves celebrity deep dives. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story. See you in the next video!